What is up, guys? Vince Vega here again with the third part of my transfer window roundup of 2015. In my last video I addressed some transfer targets like Sergio Ramos, Nicolas Otamendi, and talked about our new signings, most notably our first ever German player Bastian Schweinsteiger. I already wanted to share my opinion about some German players in my last video, but with all the news regarding new player arrivals, it was impossible to lay the main focus on the Germans, but in this video I'll do that. And the first one I wanted to talk about is the born and raised Bavarian FC Bayern Munich's very own Thomas Müller. It was reported by Germany's Sport.3, or like you would say Sport 1, that Manchester United have submitted a bid of 100 million euros. Then the talk here in Germany began: could Bayern resist such an astronomical offer? Is he really worth such an amount of money? Could Bayern be better off without him and just take the crazy money? And my answer is yes, they could resist this offer, and no, they wouldn't be better off without him. Why? Because Thomas Müller is more Bavarian than any other current Bayern player could ever be. They already lost their midfield leader Bastian Schweinsteiger, and they just can't afford to lose another player who is identifying himself so much with this club. Bayern knows this, and if they'd really sell him this summer, I think it's very clear that the fans of Bayern Munich would go to the barricades. I know a lot of Bayern fans, and they already panicked when they just saw this article from Sport.3. I told him to relax because that's only bullshit in my opinion. Of course in football it's said never say never, but this is just not happening. I really think that United's interest, and especially Van Gaal's interest, could be genuine, because he's the man who encouraged him, promoted him, and built him up. In 2009 I went to the Audi Cup in Munich, and also because United was playing there, but there was this young upcoming lad who scored 2 goals versus AC Milan in his first team debut when Bayern beat them 4-1 to reach the final against United. And I told my friends when we were in the stadium, just wait and see, this guy could become a great player for them. He wasn't the most gifted technically and didn't move as elegant as some others, but he just kept it simple, and that's what he did, and is still doing better than any other player in the world in my opinion. He's got that instinct you can't learn, and is running more than any other player on the field most of the time, and this is what makes him priceless for Bayern Munich and also the German national team. Pep Guardiola is building his own version of FC Bayern, and in the last time the critics are getting louder and louder, and something happened over the last couple of weeks what was impossible to even think about a few months ago. Some Bayern fans started to demand the name of Jürgen Klopp as potential successor of Pep Guardiola. If they'd now sell Müller after just selling Schweinsteiger, the Bayern fans would never forgive that, and I think they would want to see his head roll. They know Thomas Müller is the soul of this football club, and no money in the world could ever compensate that. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge said yesterday that Thomas Müller is a player without a price tag, and that Bayern would be out of their minds if they'd sell him. I'd love Thomas Müller at Manchester United, and I think Van Gaal would love that too, but for me this is just not possible, and no chance that this could happen, especially not this summer of just selling Bastian Schweinsteiger. So, this was my third part of my transfer window roundup. The next video will be out next week. I hope you enjoyed it again, and you'll hear from me again. See you guys.